Some people are not chasing luxury. They are chasing security. They work day and night, not because they love money, but because they're afraid of returning to the life they once suffered through. And slowly, without realizing it, they begin sacrificing today for tomorrow. They postpone happiness, postpone rest, postpone the people they love, always saying, later, next week, after I become successful. But life doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Today's story is about a man named Karthik, who spent years building his future until one emotional encounter changed the way he saw life forever. Karthik was one of the most successful businessmen in his city. At just 32 years old, he owned multiple electronics showrooms, a luxury car, and a beautiful office people admired. Everyone looked at him and said, "He's living the dream." But nobody knew where his story began. Years ago, Karthik lived in a tiny rented house with his mother. After his father passed away unexpectedly, their life became difficult overnight. His mother stitched clothes for neighbors late into the night just to survive. Sometimes Karthik would wake up at midnight and quietly watch her sewing under a dim yellow light, trying to finish orders with tired eyes. One night when Karthik was only 14, he overheard his mother crying softly. She didn't have enough money to pay his school fees. That moment changed him forever. From that day, Karthik made himself one promise. One day, I'll become rich enough so my mother never suffers again. As years passed, that dream slowly became an obsession. While others enjoyed college life, Karthik worked. At first, he repaired broken mobile phones in a tiny roadside shop. The shop was so small that only 2 people could stand inside at once. During the day, he handled customers. At night, he learned business through YouTube videos and old books. Some nights, he even slept inside the shop itself. People mocked him. Relatives doubted him. Friends moved on with their own lives. But Karthik never stopped. Because every time he felt tired, he remembered his mother stitching clothes under that dim yellow light. And that memory pushed him forward again. Slowly, his hard work paid off. The small repair shop became a mobile store. The mobile store became an electronics showroom. Then another branch opened, and another. Money finally started flowing into his life. People respected him now. Relatives proudly talked about him. Everyone called him successful. But success came with a silent price. Karthik no longer had time for life. Every morning his mother waited with breakfast ready, but Karthik rushed away saying, "Later, Amma. I'm getting late." Every evening she waited for him during dinner, but he returned home exhausted, walked straight into his room, opened his laptop, and continued working again. Festivals became business meetings. Birthdays became ordinary days. Slowly, the house became quieter. One evening, his mother walked slowly toward him while he was checking office files. She smiled softly and asked, "Karthik, will you come to the beach with me tomorrow evening? It's been years since we went anywhere together." Without lifting his eyes from the laptop, Karthik replied, "Amma, please. This week is important. We'll go another day." His mother stayed silent for a second. Then she smiled gently. "Okay, another day." That night, Karthik came out to drink water. As he walked past the hall, he noticed his mother sitting alone near the window in darkness, quietly watching the rain outside. No TV, no phone, no conversation, just silence. For the first time, Karthik noticed how old she had become. The gray hair, the weak hands, the loneliness in her eyes. For a moment, something inside him felt heavy. But before he could think further, his phone rang again. Another business call. And once again, he walked away from the moment. A few days later, Karthik traveled outside the city for an important business meeting, but the meeting ended badly. Investors rejected his proposal. Frustrated and mentally exhausted, he stopped his car near a peaceful lakeside. The place was quiet, cool wind, soft waves, orange evening sky. For the first time in months, there was no noise from phones, meetings, or customers. As Karthik walked slowly near the water, he noticed an old fisherman sitting under a tree. The man was smiling quietly while fixing his fishing net. Beside him was a small steel lunchbox and an old faded photograph. Curious, Karthik sat nearby. After a few minutes, he asked, "Don't you ever feel bad living such a simple life?" The old man smiled softly. "No, son, I have peace." Karthik looked confused. "But why didn't you try to become more successful, earn more money, build something bigger?" The old man stayed silent for a moment. Then he slowly picked up the old photograph beside him. It was a picture of him with a woman and a little girl. His smile became weaker. Then he quietly said, "Years ago, I was just like you." Karthik looked at him carefully. The old man continued, "I worked every single day, morning to night. I wanted to earn more money, build a better future for my family." He smiled sadly. "My daughter used to ask me every Sunday, 'Appa, will you take me to the beach?'" The old man looked down at the photograph. "And every Sunday I told her, 'Next week.'" Karthik slowly became silent. The fisherman's eyes filled with tears. "One day, while returning from school, my wife and daughter died in an accident. The air suddenly felt heavy. The old man looked at the lake quietly. "Do you know what hurts the most?" His voice trembled slightly. "Not the money I lost, not the business. It's the fact that I kept postponing life. I thought I had time." Karthik felt his chest tighten. The old man smiled painfully. "After losing them, I realized something. People sacrifice today for tomorrow, as if tomorrow is guaranteed." Tears slowly rolled down the old man's face. "Now I sit here every evening because this was the place my daughter wanted to visit." Karthik could not speak. For the first time in years, he thought about his own mother waiting for him at home, waiting during breakfast, waiting during dinner, waiting for one evening together, always waiting. And suddenly Karthik realized something terrifying. He was becoming exactly like the man sitting in front of him, chasing a future while life quietly slipped away. That night, Karthik returned home early. His mother looked surprised seeing him home before dinner. He sat beside her quietly, then softly asked, "Amma, tomorrow evening, shall we go to the beach?" For a moment, she simply stared at him. Then her eyes slowly filled with tears. Not because of the beach, but because after years, her son was finally beside her again. The next evening, they walked slowly along the shore together. Children laughed nearby. Waves touched the sand. The evening sky glowed orange. Simple moments. Moments Karthik had been postponing for years while chasing tomorrow. As they sat watching the sunset, his mother smiled softly and asked, "Do you know what real success is?" Karthik shook his head quietly. She looked at the ocean and said, "Having time for the people you love while they are still with you." Karthik looked at his mother silently. His eyes slowly filled with tears, because deep inside, he finally understood. Yesterday is already gone, tomorrow is uncertain, and today is the only moment truly in our hands. So work hard, chase your dreams, build your future, but don't become so busy preparing for life that you forget to live it. Spend time with the people you love. Laugh with your friends. Watch the sunsets. Travel when you can. Rest sometimes. Enjoy the little moments while they are still here. Because life is not waiting somewhere in the future. Life is happening now. And some moments, once missed, never come back again.